Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Check it out. Alicia Andrews gets sentenced today. We're going to tell her sentence a little later on in this, but today was Alicia Andrews' sentencing, and Julio Foolio's mother gave a victim impact statement that's very deep. I want y'all to watch this so you can see how the process is played out when young people throw their lives away by deciding to slide and stalk another human being like they was an animal, a deer. But this is where we at, man. Let's get this started. All right. Hit that like button, hit that like button. Don't forget the notification bell, hit the subscribe button. You know what it is, Unique Mecca audio here, man. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get this right. Alicia Andrews was sentenced today. Let's listen to what Julio's mother had to say to the court.
Into his death. Whether she pulled the trigger or not, my son would still be alive today had people not participated in carrying out this plan. A mother lives with instinct and intuition, and mine tells me that this was not ignorance. This was participation. It was calculated. They planned it. On my way driving here, every second, every minute, every hour, they could have changed their mind. They could have turned around, but yet and still, they carried on the plan to hunt my son down like a deer in the woods, like they were hunting. This was loyalty to violence over humanity. My son was treated like his life did not matter. He was ambushed and robbed of the chance to grow older, become a father one day, continue his career, and simply live. Every birthday, holiday, and family gathering is now filled with grief. I replay the memories of my son constantly. I think about his laugh, his voice, and the moments we will never get back. The trauma from this loss follows me every single day. No sentence will ever bring Charles right to me, but accountability matters. Alicia family can see her. They can talk to her. She can see her child, but I can't see my child. I have to go to visit him in a wall at the cemetery. I ask this court to remember that behind every headline is a real family suffering permanent damage. My son's life mattered. He was not disposable. The emotional devastation caused by this murder reaches far beyond the courtroom and will affect my life forever. I respectfully ask the court to impose a sentence that reflects the seriousness of the role Alicia Andrews played in the events that led to my son's death, because she knowingly knew what was going on. Choices were made, and those choices had deadly consequences. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of my son, Charles Jones.
Now that was deep. That's what a mother in grief sounds like. And I want y'all to understand that two mothers cried, but only one child can still be visited by their mother. And I think you know who that is. Put that in the comments and tell me, what would you rather be? The one mother that could visit her child, or the mother that have to visit her child in a grave? They both lost. I'm not going to give you her sentence yet, but y'all put in the comments, what do you think Alicia Andrews' sentence should be? Today, Alicia Andrews got sentenced, but don't rush to the number or the time or the length of the sentence yet, because this case is deeper than years. This case is about two mothers. One mother is standing over a grave. One mother is standing outside a prison. My mother had to do that. Different pain, but still pain. Different loss, but still loss. Different ending, but the same street tragedy. Now, the jewel for that is before you ask what she got, ask what everybody lost. Before you ask what she got, ask what everybody lost. That courtroom was full of pain. That courtroom was not just about Alicia. That courtroom was not just about Foolio. That courtroom was full of mothers. Mothers crying over choices they did not make. Foolio's mother lost her son. Alicia's mother lost her daughter to the system. One can never visit her son again. One can still visit her daughter behind prison walls. That is two different pains in one room. The jewel for that is the streets make the choices, but the mothers carry the pain. One mother got a grave. Foolio's mother does not get weekends. She does not get phone calls. She does not get prison visits. She does not get another birthday with him. She does not get one more hug. She only gets memories. She only gets pictures. She only gets a son frozen in time. That pain is permanent. The jewel for that is death is the sentence nobody can appeal. One mother got a prison visit. Alicia's mother still has a daughter alive, but alive does not mean free. Alive does not mean home. Alive does not mean whole. She has to visit her through prison rules. She has to hear her voice on monitored calls. She has to watch years disappear. She has to love her daughter from a distance. That pain is slow. That's a slow death. The jewel for that, prison does not just punish the inmate, it punishes the family too. Here's the twist nobody wants to say. Foolio's mother spoke about him like her baby. And that is what a mother is supposed to do. But the street knew another side too. Foolio was not just an innocent image online. He was part of a deadly street culture. He trolled enemies. He disrespected dead people. He made pain part of the music. But that still does not mean he deserved to die. That is where people get confused. What do you think should have happened to him from him urinating on graves, making videos, trolling the dead, smoking the dead? What do you think should happen? Now, the jewel for that is telling the truth about someone's life is not the same as justifying their death. Telling the truth about someone's life is not the same as justifying their death. Everybody's an angel to their mother, right or wrong. I could do no wrong to my mother in her eyes. To Julio's mother, he was her angel. To DaVon Murphy's mother, he may be an angel too. To Sean Goffright's family, he may still be their baby. To Alicia's mother, she is still her daughter. But the court does not sentence childhood memories. The court looks at evidence. The court looks at damage. The court looks at consequences. That's the cold, hard facts that we're trying to prevent you from having to go through over here, Unique Mecca Audio. My number's on the screen. My Cash App is on the screen. You know what time it is. Call, holler, say what's up. The jewel for that is your mother may see your heart, but the judge sees your actions. And you ain't trying to be judged. So cease your actions. Alicia was not the shooter. Alicia Andrews was not convicted as the shooter, but she was still convicted of manslaughter. That means the jury believed she played a role, and that is the danger of being around it. You do not have to pull the trigger. You don't have to be the loudest. You don't have to be the leader. But in your name, if your name gets tied to it, you can still lose years. That is the lesson for every young woman and man watching this. Because let's take a ride. My co-defendant, I'm even going to tell you his name. My co-defendant, Diesel, good kid. When I met him, never been arrested, never had a problem in his life when I met him. He was about 13 years old, 14 at the time. I put him up under the wing with my, devious destruction, and, he learned from me, ran under me, and, I eluded police, he eluded police, and made sure he never got arrested for anything. And then one day we pull up at a joint and somebody slits my tires and, broke my windows. And he peeked it when he came. It was a garbage man in the car, so he ran up and, he snatched the garbage man out. They got to fighting. He winds up getting locked up. We had to go get him out. And that's the only time he was ever arrested. And then in this case, all they saw was pictures of him with me partying and out having a good time. And now they put him on the indictment and they threatened to give him life in prison like me if he didn't cooperate and make up stories on me. He refused to do it and he wound up getting 27 years in federal prison and did his time as a man. When he was going through his situation, I contacted his cousin, who's my child's mother, to let him know that I will come back and keep this life sentence on me to testify at his trial to try and help him go free because I was already convicted. So it was only right that now I try and help my comrade. Even if that means me securing myself to this life sentence, anchoring myself to a life sentence. So that's what that was all about. It's about a blind loyalty that you don't understand. But I say that to say that we've been through so much, and the jewel in this is being close to the crime can still put your life in prison clothes. And that's what happened with Diesel. He was just close to me and always with me. When he got time for sentencing, that one charge came up. That's all he ever had. So they couldn't give him life, so they gave him 27. He did about 24, 25 off of that. I don't know what it is. You ask and put in the comments if you want him to come up here and talk to you. But I think you'll really get something from Diesel, man, because he ran under me and he knows my foolery and he knows my growth. Now, let's talk about Alicia Andrews' lawyer. Her lawyer fought for 7 years. Her lawyer asked him to give her 7 years. Her lawyer wanted only 7 years. He brought up other cases that was similar to her case in the same criminal history category points that she was in, saying that they only got 7, she should get 7. He brought up criminal history points. He brought up similar situations. He tried to show the judge why 7 years made sense. But the court is not only math. The court is pain. The court is pressure. The court is public attention. And that's what this case got. The court is a dead son and a grieving mother that wants justice. The jewel in this is a lawyer can argue the numbers, but pain speaks loud in court. Just so you understand that. The judge had a hard room to face. The judge had Alicia on one side, young, alive, and asking for mercy. The judge had Foolio's mother on the other side, broken, grieving, asking for justice. One family wanted mercy. One family wanted accountability. Some say disguised in revenge. One side said she can still change. She's young. She's a baby. She made a mistake. Give her another chance. And one side said, my son is gone forever. That is why sentencing get heavy. And you don't want to put yourself in that situation and have to get sentenced because this is heavy on everyone involved. The jewel in this is street choices are quick, but courtroom consequences are heavy. Now, the question is, what did she get, right? How much time did Alicia Andrews get? That's what y'all waiting to hear, right? Did Alicia get the 7 years? Did the judge go easy? Did the judge say she was not the shooter? Did the judge give her another chance? Or did the judge say the damage was too deep? That is the suspense that I tried to leave you on today. Because everybody was waiting on that number. Because we know co-defendants are looking at least 30 years, if not straight life, which is really, they're going to get life. Because everybody was waiting on the number. And when the number came down, people reacted. Some said it was too much. Some said it was not enough. In a case like this, no sentence makes everybody feel whole. Then the number dropped. Alicia Andrews did not get 7 years. She did not walk out. She did not get a slap on the wrist. Alicia Andrews got 15 years in state prison in Florida. 15 years in prison. 15 summers are going to have to pass her by. 15 years of freedom gone. And that is for someone who was not convicted as the shooter. The streets, it's the jewel, right? So you understand it's the jewel. The streets can put you in a story where your role is smaller, but your sentence is still real as a mother ever. This is why the streets are trapped. The streets make loyalty sound beautiful. Ride for your people. Stand on business, hold it down, never switch up, never snitch. You know everything that go with that. But when the court comes, everybody stands alone. When you stand in front of that judge, you're alone. When you walk in front of that prison, through the doors, into whatever cage they put you in, you're alone. Your friends cannot do the time with you. Your lover cannot do the time with you. Your crew cannot do the time with you. Your mother can cry, but she cannot serve it for you. And the jewel in that is the streets recruit a group, but prison takes you by your damn self. Now, let's talk about the message, right? You know what? I feel like hearing some music. I keep forgetting to put the music on because I turned it off for the intro. Let's get some music in this, all right? Let's get some music. Tell me if you like it better with or without the music so we can ride and get in a little groove because I feel a little funky with the music. The message to the young women: stop riding behind people chasing death. Stop confusing love with loyalty. Stop confusing loyalty with survival. Stop thinking you're safe because you're not the shooter and you're just a getaway driver. Stop thinking the law will ignore your role. Stop thinking you can stand near fire and not get burnt. Alicia Andrews is a warning, is a wake-up call to everyone. Not the shooter. She wasn't the shooter, but she was still sentenced. Not the main face, but she's still gone. Now, hold up before I give you the jewel, because I got 2 beats playing over here. Let me see how I can fix it. I got to take that out first, right? We're going to take the beat out. Let me try and go in here and fix this beat before I give you this last jewel. And I tap out. Been on here long enough for me to get this right. All right, hold on. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. We'll go to edit page. We'll go over here to music. right? And we're gonna go over here. So we got that and trap playing. We're gonna take that out and we just gonna put that in. So then now, check it out. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. Here we go. So now we're going back over here. Thank y'all for the donation that helped me hook this studio up. After 26 years of federal prison, you see I come home, learned all this, and now I'm running this by my damn self. You know, just so that y'all understand. All right. Now, let me come back. Well, I got to go one more step. Got to come in, turn that off. Now I'm back. Voila. Round of applause to me. Round of applause. Thank you for the Cash App donation. The phone number's on the screen if you want to holler. But remember, the game is supposed to be sold, not told, so don't call for nothing and think you're going to get something, because you always want to get something for nothing. Like I say, when PBS run their little fundraiser every year, nobody complain. Their grandmother just donate and everybody else just shut the hell up. So if you look at the top of the screen, you're going to see my Cash App right there. Make sure it works. Phone number you want to holler. Just know that time is money. Let's keep it going. Now, where was we at? Now we're going back over here, right? We're talking about the jewel. The jewel in that is you do not have to be the trigger person to lose trigger person time. You don't have to be the trigger person to lose trigger person time. The message to the young men: stop turning death into entertainment. Stop trolling the dead. Stop posting locations like the internet is protection. Stop making enemies your marketing plan. Stop thinking views are worth funerals. Stop thinking clout is worth your mother crying. The internet cheers until the bullshit flies. Then everybody turns into commentators and report on you and get clicks and views. Oh, don't forget the like button, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for coming. And your family is left with the pain. Yo, you know what? Make sure you cop the book of Rowan Harlem at rowanharlem.com. Make sure you cop the book of Rowan Harlem at rowanharlem.com. Don't say I didn't tell it to you. I'm learning to promote a little bit. I'm learning all this after coming home 26 years. We didn't have none of this crap back then. But now, right? Oh, yeah, I wanted to let you hear the music, right? So let me let you hear the music. Let me know if you like the music better. They had both beats playing at the same time. That's why I was a little confusing to you. But now I'm just going to play one beat. Tell me what you think about this. You know, Keanu Gone Stupid. Big shout out. His Instagram, the person that made the beat, is on the bottom of the screen. Let's keep it moving. All right. Now, let's get back. So the jewel is clout can make you famous, but it cannot make you bulletproof. Clout can make you famous, but it cannot make you bulletproof. The real ending, let me tell you the real ending in this, right? The real ending, nobody won in this case. Julio is gone, Alicia's sentenced, other families are destroyed, mothers are crying on both sides, the fans get content. We're giving you plenty of content off of their misery, and that's the sad part, but somebody have to report it. The streets get another story, the system gets another body, and the families get pain forever. Now the jewel in that is, the streets do not create winners. They create funerals and prison visits. Let me ask y'all 10 viral questions that I'm gonna give you all a loose answer on that, but I want y'all to answer the question, keep it moving like we in a tutorial. We're gonna do what we gotta do. We got the music playing. Let me know if you like it with or without the music a little bit better. I feel like talking a little bit more when I hear the music, so just bear with me, because I feel like I'm in an old school Brucey B joint. Big shout out to Brucey B. Big shout out to Kevin Childs just walked in. Okay, we got Gangsta Lou in the house. All right, you got Kevin Childs. You got everybody that walked up in the house. Let's keep it moving. All right, now, was 15 years too much for Alicia Andrews, in your opinion? Was 15 years too much for Alicia Andrews? Some people would say yes, because she was not convicted as the shooter. Are you one of those people that say yes because she was not convicted as the shooter? But the court still believe her role deserves serious time. And by the way, if I didn't say it yet, she got sentenced to 15 years in state prison. That is why being around the wrong people is dangerous. That's why you have to keep your circle small. Was 15 years enough to you? Put it in the comments. Let me know if 15 years was enough. Some people would say no because Foolio is never coming back. His mother does not get visits or calls. To a grieving family, no sentence feels equal. Question number 3. Why did her lawyer ask for 7 years? Y'all like the music? Why did her lawyer ask for 7 years? Put in the comment if you like the music or not. I'm gonna work with y'all. I know we're gonna have some people say no, some say yes, so I want everybody to see what you feel. He argued similar cases and similar criminal history. He tried to make the sentence about fairness, but the judge still landed higher. Question number 4, why talk about Julio trolling? Why do talking about Julio trolling? Because the whole truth matters. It does not justify his death, but it shows how online disrespect can become real world tragedy. Can Foolio be wrong and still be loved? Do you believe Foolio can still be wrong? But urinating on the grave, but trolling and still be loved. Yes, because mothers love the child behind the image. Mother never sees the image that the child works so hard to project when he's away from the mother. A mother sees the baby, the street sees the reputation, the court sees the consequences to what the baby did to create this reputation. Now the baby must deal with the consequences. 6, can Alicia be guilty and still be somebody's daughter? Would you still claim her as your daughter if your daughter was guilty of such a horrendous crime? Yes, and that's what makes it painful. Accountability does not erase humanity. But humanity does not erase consequences either. 7, what would young women learn? Or what should young women learn from Alicia Andrews? Do not ride behind chaos. Do not let love put your name in a case. Do not think being present cannot become prison time. 8, what should young men learn from Foolio? Stop using death as promotion. Stop thinking trolling has no cost. The internet is not worth your life. Number 9, who really won in this case? Who do you really think won in this case? Alicia Andrews only getting 15 years and still having her life to be able to breathe and visit, and I think she said she had a baby. Did she have the baby or did something happen with the baby? What's going on here? Put that in the comments. Who really won in this case? Nobody won. Foolio was dead. Alicia's sentenced. Families are broken. The streets won. Nothing but more pain. Question number 10. What is the final lesson? The streets sell loyalty. The courtroom sells consequences. Prison collects the payment. And mothers are left crying on both sides. Now, my first final juke, I might give you 10 more questions. If y'all want 10 more questions, put in a comment. The streets are real, but prison is realer. And the graveyard does not give second chances. That's what you have to remember. Now, let me ask you 10 more questions. I feel like riding this out. You know what I mean? Let's give y'all a little time with Unique Mecca Audio on this Friday. Can a man be a victim and still be part of the problem? Yes, that's the truth people hate. Somebody can be murdered and still have lived dangerously. That does not justify death, but it does explain the environment. The streets don't care who started it. The streets only care who gets caught last. The jewel for that is being a victim does not automatically erase the choices that led you near danger? Why do mothers call their sons angels after the streets call them demons? Because mothers remember the child, the streets remember the reputation. A mother sees baby pictures, the block sees paperwork, mother sees birthdays, the judge sees evidence. Mother sees birthdays. The moms never miss our birthdays. And don't forget, the judge is going to see the evidence. And a mother sees potential in her child. Prison sees her child as a number. That's why we're trying to prevent you from going down that path over here at Unique Mecca Audio. Your mother may know your heart, but the world responds to your actions. Is loyalty still loyalty if it destroys your life? No, that's not loyalty. That's manipulation. Real loyalty protects your future. Fake loyalty tests your freedom. The streets call it standing tall. Prison calls it intake. The court calls it accountability. The jewelry in that is the jewel. And that is loyalty costs you your life, your freedom, or your mother's peace. It was never loyalty. Why do people want mercy after they showed none? Tell me, why do people want mercy after they showed none? Because consequences wake people up. Before court, they feel powerful. Before cuffs, they feel untouchable. Before sentencing, they feel solid. But once the judge starts talking, everybody remembers God, family, and second chances. The jewel in this is remorse that only shows up after arrest looks different from remorse that shows up before destruction. Can you be just around it and still get crushed by it? Absolutely. That's the trap. You don't have to be the shooter. You don't have to be the planner. You don't have to be the loudest. But if you ride with that chaos, the law may count your seat like it counted your hand. The jewel in that is street life proximity become paperwork? What does the street teach? Silence. Then leave people, right? Why does the street teach silence, then leave people alone in court? The streets teach you to be quiet and hold your own and shut the F up. But when you go in court, you all by yourself. And that's when you see who you are and what you're really made of. Because the street code is one-sided. It demands silence from you, but it gives no protection back. It tells you don't fold, then disappears when you need a lawyer. It tells you hold it down, then your mother holds the tears. It tells you to be solid. The pain turns you into a file. The jewel in that is the street code asks for a sacrifice, but never signs up to share the sentence. Question number 7, is trolling the dead just music, or is it a match to gasoline? It can be both. To fans, it sounds like entertainment. To enemies, it sounds like disrespect. To the algorithm, it creates views. To family, it reopens wounds and graves. To the streets, it becomes pressure. And pressure makes people crash out. The internet laughs at disrespect until the real world answers. Question number 8. Make sure y'all answer these questions in the comments, man. I took my time to put these together for you. Why do people say free them without asking who they hurt? Because slogans are easy. Accountability is harder. Free him sounds loyal. What did he do? Sounds honest. That's my people. Sounds strong. Who did he destroy? Sounds responsible. The streets love the defendant, but forget the victim. The jewel in that is real wisdom can love your people and still admit when they're wrong. You can still love your people and admit when they're wrong. Can a sentence ever be fair when somebody's dead? Put that in the comment. Do you think a sentence can ever be fair when someone is dead? Not really. That's the hard truth. The victim's family never gets enough. The defendant's family always feels it's too much. One side counts lost years. The other side counts life and tears. The judge gives a number, but grief does not count like math. The jewel in that is, court can punish harm, but it cannot restore what death took. What is the real price of street life? It is not just prison, it is not just death. It is mothers aging overnight. It's children growing up confused. It's families visiting cages. It's funerals with custom shirts. Rest in peace, Super Bob. It is always eating the money. It's always the lawyers eating the money. It's the system collecting bodies. It's the block moving on without you. The jewel for that is the streets rent you attention, then charge your family forever. The streets rent you attention and then charge your family forever. Now, if you're wondering why I do this, I'm gonna play my man Murder Mook so he can tell you why I do this. And put in the comment, what do you think about what Murder Mook got to say?
Hey, what's going on, man? Murder Mook, Harlem, you know what it is, man. I just want to express how much gratitude I got for Unique, you know what I mean? I was telling him a story, telling him how I felt about, you know, if anything was to go wrong with my career, rap-wise, you know, if, you know, shit be slow and I got so many opportunities to be able to do the wrong shit. When I watch Unique Mecca audio, I feel it, and I like to my soul, and that's keeping me farthest away from doing anything criminal. Anything criminal. He made me think straight, honestly. Made me think straight, because I've been watching him for about a year, like a year now, maybe, and it just took my mind way off of that, way off of that. From a year ago, it got rough. For a year ago,
Yeah.
and from watching this man, I just felt like, you saved me. You saved me. And I just want to show my gratitude, and I want to say thank you, man. Unique Mecca Audio, anything you need, brother, from me.
All right.
Anything you need, man.
All right.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of
26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whiny. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back